Hi, welcome to Sim Programmer channel. Today we are going to look on do while loops. Previously, we have looked on the while loop. So today we are going to look on the do while loop. And the difference is very simple. That the do while loop is called the bottom tested loop. That is the difference between the while loop and the do while loop, because the while loop is a top tested loop when you check the condition before execution of a block of code. But the do while loop is a bottom tested loop where you test the condition after the execution of a block of code, right? So this is Windows Form application, and I have designed this form in this way. As you can see, I have this button at the start loop and this list box. So this list box is where I'm going to display or to print my output from the loop. Instead of using the console application, I've decided to use this Windows Form application so that you can easily apply it on Windows Phone, right? So let's go ahead and write our loop here. So today we are going to implement the concept of a break, to break from the loop, and the concept of continue, and you will understand it as I demonstrated here. So I've just clicked the button and I've created the button click event. So simply let me go ahead and use this loop. So let's go ahead and declare a variable of integer data type, right, in the number one, and assign the value of 0 like this. So we are going to write our loop here and display the output in the list box. So the do while loop is declared like this. Do, then you put the conditions or lines of code here, and then the condition after, right? So what do you want to do? You want to write something in the list box. So list box one dot items, excuse me, list box one dot, this is a bit of mess, right? Excuse me. What's going on right here is list box one, right? Dot items, dot add. Then we want to add in the list box the items which we want to display here, right? So what do you want to display? We want to display this number. So I'm going to say number one in the list box, right? Number one like this, and put the same colon. So this is the operation which we want to do. We just want to list this list box, this number in the list box, and after that we are going to increment this variable. So for us to display 0, it doesn't make sense. So let's just initialize this variable to 1 like this, so that we can start from 1. So after this do block, we are going to put the condition here, the while condition, right, like this. What is the condition? The while number one is less than, let's say, 15, like this, right? This is the condition of a do while loop. Okay, as you can see, we have declared the do while loop. So what do we have to do right here is to increment the variable until it reaches this condition. So I'm going to increase it like number one plus plus. So we incremented the variable like this. So if we go ahead and execute this code, we're going to see the output from the list box. Why? Because it is where we have added this line of code to display in the list box. Right, that's it. So let's go ahead and have a look after the execution of this program. Right away. Right, as you can see, the program is executed and we have it here. So we have to click this start loop because this is where we have put our code. You can see we have 1 up to 14. Why? Because we have put the condition as a number is less than 15. Right, that's it. So this is the do while loop. Why did we say it is a bit different from a while loop? If it was a while loop, this was going to be run and the, this condition was going to be tested first before execution and then later execute. But in this way, we are going to execute this block of code and then test the condition. Why? Because the while loop is on the bottom. We have said C# programming language, it executes line by line. So it will go to this and go to this line, go to this line, go to this line, and then finally to this line. So it will test the condition later. In the next video, I will show you the difference in practical. So let's go ahead and demonstrate from here. And let's demonstrate the break condition. Right, so you have seen how to add or how to execute this while loop. So I'm going to add the break condition with a certain condition. So I'm going to say right here, let me cut here. Let me cut this and I will paste it later after the condition. Let me write if, let's say I want to exit this loop when a number is equal to 7. So let me put this condition when number 1 is equal to 7. Then I open my curly braces and put this break. Excuse me. So let me just paste it down here. Let me leave it as it was, since it is a break statement, right? So let's go ahead and execute it again so that you can see it will break on the 7th, right? It will break on the 6th. Why? Because 7 is not added there. Let's go ahead and have a look. We'll explain what will be displayed in the list box. So you can see we have 6 items, 1 2 3 4 5 6, and it exited the loop. Why? Because that was a break. So let me put a line of code before this break right away. Let me add another statement in this list box, copy and paste it here. Right, let me add this as going out of loop like this, right? So you can see we put another statement here. Let's go ahead and execute it. You can see this will be added onto the list box as going out of the loop, and this simply telling you that the loop is exiting at that particular point, right? Let's click here. You can see going out of loop. Why? Because the condition was met, which is this if condition, right? That's it. So this is the same way where we can use the continue statement again. So instead of break, this break is just telling that we no longer want to execute this loop because we have made this condition and we want to exit the loop. So if you put the break statement here, it will force the code to ignore all other to ignore this condition and goes out of loop, right? That's it. So let's go ahead and change this break and put the continue. This continue will force the code to go to the next condition. So when, let's say we want to print something on the let me just put it here. Let me put it like number one and put this plus and then say was ignored, like this, right? So you can see that we have put this statement blah 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 was ignored. So let's go ahead and run so that you can see the output and understand what had happened here with this continue statement, right? There's some error here. Now let's run it again. Let's see what's the problem right here. Right, so here was the error, right? Let's go ahead and correct this error from here. So we have put this number and we have put this continue, but the code or this program is not aware of where to go to. So we have incremented this number here, but we forgot to increment so that it continues keeping this number which is here and going to the next, which will be given here, right here. So let's go ahead and put number one, it's got number one, right, plus one, like this. So by doing this, the continue will skip to print this 7 in the list box, but will print 8 instead. Let's go ahead and execute it so that you can see how simple is it, right? All right, let's click this start. You can see this saying 8 was ignored. No, it's wrong. This is wrong. This completely wrong. What we have to do is to exchange these statements right here, right here, and paste it. You can see saying 7 was ignored. Right, that's it. So let's go ahead and execute it again. Since it executes, it will execute after editing, so it will be wrong. Let's execute it like this. You can see that it will give that 7 was ignored, although it was printed saying it was ignored, right? So if we remove this statement which is saying number was ignored, this statement, you can see that the number will totally ignored. You will never see 7 in this list box. Let's go ahead and run it. You can see, all right, you can see 7 is not in this list box. Why? Because it was ignored due to this condition which is saying now if number 1 is equal to 7, then continue. So if you put something like 2 here, if we add with 2, you can see that there are a couple of numbers which will be skipped, which will be missing on our list box. So this is simply what we call while loop in C sharp. You can see we are coming from 6 to 9. Why? Because we have added 2, so we've skipped 2 numbers, right? So this is the use of the continue statement. It will skip 2 numbers a certain number of conditions which were given here right here. That's it. So this the do while loop is pretty easy and pretty simple. If you want to apply it as we have done to the while loop, you can do it so simply. Thank you. Have a nice time. Please subscribe to this Zim Programa channel for more videos. Thank you.